Are you going to do countdown?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, sir, it's you, sir.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to Life Pharma Coalition, a global knowledge and networking platform for pharma professionals. Today's episode, LPC 140, 140th session of Life Pharma Coalition. As you know, in Life Pharma Coalition, we invite industry experts to address current challenges and opportunities across pharmaceuticals. And today, entire world is heading towards pandemic 2.0. Again, is starting from China. It has spread to other countries also. And pharmaceutical industry across the globe is geared up to face this challenge. In these changing dynamics, we all need to keep ourselves safe, be alert, and ensure the protection across all the humanity. In this situation, virtual connection is again going to be a very, very vital for across everyone. And keeping that in mind, 2.5 years ago, we had started LPC Live Pharma Coalition to share best practices. And today's session is going to address some of the very important aspect of leadership and pharmaceutical sales management. Before going to today's session, let me share a brief presentation of Live Pharma Coalition, a global knowledge and networking platform. As you all are aware, in Life Pharma Coalition, recently we have received Pharma Ratna Universe Award 2022 Healthcare Webinar of the Year. It was a prestigious moment for each one of us. We dedicate this award to each and every of our core team members, our mentors, speakers, and our viewers. Thank you very much for all your support. LPC executive team, which is relentlessly working towards providing you learning and sharing across the section every week without any break. And our mentors and advisors who have been advising us, guiding us throughout this journey. These are some of the glimpses of LPC 100 conclave held at Mumbai, LPC 125 conclave held at Ahmedabad, which was a grand success, and recently happened LPC conclave 3.0 in Navi Mumbai. And as many of you are aware, very shortly after 9 episodes, we are going to have LPC Pharma Conclave 150, 150 glorious episodes of learning and sharing on Sunday, 5th March. It will be a grand celebration. So we request you to block your dates. Very shortly, we are going to share the details on the 1st of January, next episode. Imagica Health, thank you very much. We are very much thankful to Imagica Health for continuous support as a live streaming partner of Life Pharma Coalition. And today's episode, a global knowledge and networking forum for pharma professionals, is going to address two of the very imminent topic, that is transformational leadership by Mr. Rupesh Joshi, Associate Director, Cipla Limited, and Mr. Sumanta Chaudhary, Divisional Sales Manager, JB Pharma, is going to share his views on joint field work in pharmaceutical management. Whenever managers are going to the field work, what are the things they should keep in mind? What are the ways they can guide, mentor, and teach and develop the executives during the joint field work? And with me, I have Mr. Arpan Kumar Paul as a co-moderator. So we request you all to keep sharing your learning and questions at the end of the session. Definitely we will definitely address those questions. And before handing over to Arpan Kumar Paul, I wish each and everyone a happy Merry Christmas. Arpan, over to you.
Thank you so much, Yashwan sir. Yeah, a very special morning to all of you because today is Christmas. Christmas isn't just a day, it's a frame of mind. And we can hear the jingling of the bells and we can feel the goodness, the flavors of the cakes and the pastries all around. And that makes the day so very special. And indeed, it's really a privilege for LPC that we are live on this special day on 25th. And thank you so much to our speakers who have spared their precious time to share the knowledge so that our audience get enriched with the learnings and experiences that they are going to share on today's LPC 140. In fact, the relevance of today's session is very important because some of the topics that the speakers are going to touch is on transformative leadership. In fact, there are two ways. One is transactional, the other is transformative. Transactional, as the name says, is give and take. That means I give something, I take something. Whereas transformational is not only molding yourself in a new frame, but as well as changing the situations around. So that is definitely going to be a session we are waiting for. And at the same time, for any company to be successful, the most important part is the people on the field. And not only that, it's the joint working with the manager which ensures that everybody is working at par and the prescriptions are good and the doctor convincing and the doctor conversion is better. So a good joint field working enhances prescriptions and gives rise to sale. So to speak all about it, we have wonderful speakers. So on transformative learnings and leadership, we have Mr. Rupesh Joshi, and for joint field working, we have Mr. Sumanta Chaudhary. So now I will request first of all, Mr. Rupesh Joshi to take a 1 minute brief about what he has to deliver to us today. Mr. Rupesh Joshi, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And namaste to everyone. And again, a bright day, sunny day, Christmas day. I think 1/40th of LPC. I think it's like adding sugar to the milk or icing on the cake, what Mr. Appan said. So the topic I'm going to touch is all about transformational leadership. Let's see the 6 slides and the experiences which I've gained in my 17 years of career and I've learned from my colleagues as well as peers. I'll try to put forward. Probably a few leaders, those are already practicing it, they'll find repetition, but yes, it is important to recall the brand again and again, to imbibe it and use it again and again to the right customer. So with that philosophy, probably I'll add upon the pointers when I come to the actual topic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Rupesh. I'm sure that your deliberation is definitely going to bring about a transformation in the mindset of our audience, and they are going to take the next step forward to ensure that they become transformative leaders. Thank you so much. Now I'll come over to Mr. Sumanta Chaudhary. So a 1 minute brief about joint field working from your end.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, Merry Christmas and a happy Sunday. First of all, I congratulate all of you, those who have attended a wonderful session. And I am feeling lucky to share my experience about our joint fieldwork experience and how it could be better when we are learning something theoretically. It should be applied in field, and here are some tips by the leaders I have learned from the field as well as in various training platforms that can enhance you to implement better your learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sumanta. In fact, let's hope that after your deliberations, joint field working does not become a pressure. It becomes a pleasure and the learning journey continues. So we'll hear more about it from you. So now I'll hand it over to Yashwant sir so that he can introduce our first speaker, Mr. Rupesh Joshi, followed by his presentation. So over to you, Mr. Yashwant.
Thank you very much, Arpan. Thank you very much. So let us start with the today's session. And our first speaker today is Mr. Rupesh Chandrakant Joshi, Associate Director, Cipla Limited. Rupesh is a pharmacy graduate and also done leadership, emotional intelligence leadership course from Virginia University. Rupesh is having 17 years of experience in pharmaceuticals across functions, majorly in Cipla Limited. He has worked in respiratory and critical care area. He has worked in HR, SAP, sales and marketing various functions. Not only that, so for the geography is concerned, he has worked entire Maharashtra, Mumbai, Goa, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So he is having a vast experience of leading different teams in different uh, functions. So it is be definitely a great opportunity for LPC viewers to listen to Rupesh, and he's going to share about transformational leadership. What are the transitional leaders who only believe in give and take, and who are the transformational leaders who always work on transforming people, developing people? So it is a great opportunity. I request each and every viewer to keep on sharing their views and questions. So over to you, Rupesh sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yashwant. You've been kind enough to narrate about me. Probably I'm a very simple person to go with, and we have shared a lot of diocese during your Cipla tenure. So I've been fortunate, and my congratulations to LPC Pharma for coming along for 140th. And probably it has become dream for a lot of us to be a part of this, maybe coming and sharing the dais. And Sunday's never been so much entertaining since you started with the first program. So all my best wishes. So already you have introduced me, so I'll skip this slide. I've been the pharmacy graduate, as you said, a diploma pharmacist rather, to be precise. And I love to read. I love to read a bit of mythological things connected to the leadership. This is what I love to do. And football and cricket are one of my passionate sports that I really love with it. Probably before starting program also, I was looking after is India going to win against Bangladesh today or not. The test which is almost poised well. So these are my few passions I really don't want to leave. And transformational leadership will come to the topic. See, a first image, probably 7 slides are there with me. I'll try and make it a brief with my own understanding about this topic and what I've learned from my colleagues, those who actually showcase this. You can call it a skill, you can call it a style of a leadership, or you can call it one of the trait of a leadership, whatever the name you give it. But it is something which is important. So image in front of you, team or the viewers, it depicts that. Look at a leader holding the complete rope towards the aim which is finalized by organization or by leader, and making sure that every team member is climbing and achieving to the targeted or what we can say, the target that we set for all of us in simple words. And the transformational leadership is all about that. So the first slide and the last slide, I try to put conclusion across. Transformational leader is one who coach, who guide, who kicks sometime when it is required, or you can say everything of leadership is a part of transformational leader. And that's what we want to behave, or in my view, transformational leadership is more of a behavior and acting strategically whenever it is required. So there are 2 types of leadership we see, what Mr. Arpan said at the start. One is transactional, one is transformational. So transactional, of course, it's simple words, it's give and take. Of course, there is a goal on the focus. You use reward and punishment as your motivational weapons, and it's reactive in nature. So over here, I'll give one simple example. All of you, one of my colleagues used to give. So he's having a daughter, let's say 7 years of age. Her age is 7 years. So she was not, touching the feet of the people, those who come at home. We always say that, "Ghar pe koi bada aadmi aaya to aap usko, you touch his feet and take the blessings." Okay. So after repetitive training to her, she was really not taking up that task. So one time he said, if you touch 10 people's feet, those who come to at our home, of course, the elder ones, and you get a blessing, you will be getting some gift, right? So she started doing it with that. Maybe day 1, 2 people have came, maybe a few relatives have came. He came, she touched the feet. Day 2, another 2 people have came, she touched the feet. So likewise, a week has gone. And one fine day, four guests have arrived at the home. She touched the feet of only 2 people and she left 2. So father asked, XYZ, what happened? You touched only 2, why not 2? She said, you told me to touch 10. I touched 10. Where is my gift? And these 2 were not the part of the target that you've given me. So the only thing what I want to put it forward here, transactional things are like this. Once the goals are achieved, that thoughtful, compassionate, that passion, that commitment, that conviction to achieve goals beyond the task are always missing. So that's the reason transactional leadership is short-term thing you can think of. It cannot go long way. It's just like you're giving a task, boss, you go and convert this doctor, or you go and convert this XYZ person. So you go and convert this one or things, he will do and stop that there itself. The person will stop there itself. But that multiplication of tasks, which will really make him a good individual, we may be missing. In the same maybe example, when the girl or the daughter was taught about that if you touch a feet of every elder coming up, you get a lot of blessing. It will help you to grow in your life. It will give you a lot of energy to move forward. You get a lot of knowledge. It's a good thing to do with. Probably she will do by conviction, and she will never think of a transaction out of doing that simple task. I think that's what the transformational leader is. I just try to put it a small example across, which I felt is right in the context what we're talking. That's why transformational leader, they talk about the focus on a vision. Thoughtfully compassionate thing beyond the task. They make sure that people are doing job and achieving their own dream, career dreams rather, I must say. Personalized dream, I must say. They use charisma, enthusiasm for motivation. It's not about only rewards. I'm not saying that transformation leaders don't give reward, but they reward the process. They don't reward the result. That's the basic difference you'll find the transformational leaders and the transactional leaders. And they are proactive in nature. They find what threats coming up, how you can help, how they can really handhold, right? So the simple example I thought of, which can be apt as per the topic, and I request all my colleagues, leader, those who are listening, probably it's a time. And one more thing I like to add up, which we and Mr. Yashwant were talking. So how world has changed pre-COVID, during COVID, post-COVID, and how transformational leaders are still surviving. They're doing fine. And a lot of my colleagues working in the pharma industry, outside pharma industry, when we keep an opportunity to chit-chat each other on fine day. See, during COVID, I think it was more of transformational plus transactional, because emotions were playing a lot of role, because emotional intelligence is one of the key things that transformational leader must have to really build that relationship with your employee or direct reportee or the team that you associated directly with. So that was a mix. You find a lot of people sticking to organization for a long time. Then COVID came. We had a lot of empathy we gone with. Initial days, the productivity outcome, all those things were on the backseat. Some time spent with the COVID, then again leadership has gone into outcome mode. And since we were used to with the situation, we were predicting that what is going to happen. Post-COVID, it has came down more of, transactions have came to the picture, and that has started with the team first. And then probably leadership has adopted those particular things. So now today's leaders, those are probably working in the market, not only pharma, maybe across industry, they need to balance between both. Starting from your emotional intelligence to your inspirational motivation to the team, process-based transaction or process-based rewards to the team. It's not the result, it's the process that needs to be rewarded. And I believe last 1.5 years, top industry, starting from Peter, you must have seen the call, Elon Musk have taken, who would have thought about it. There is a lot of shaking in the market. So the job of a leader has become very much tough. I'm talking about area manager to every ladder. So it is very important how you adapt both the skills and you move forward and make a productive team. Now, after going this, now what is that transformational leadership? What are the 4 I's that we really look forward? So inspirational and motivation, of course, it's a part and parcel. It is the important part that needs to be worked around. Idealized influence. I think you become an idol, you come forward, you show them how to do it and influence the people to multiply. It's just not going and giving these strategies. You become a part of a strategy now. The two things have changed. It's just not giving a strategy. You go, you implement, and you become the part of a strategy. That is idealized influence is required. Intellectual stimulation, simple words, it's Bauddhik Uttejan in Hindi, or you can say it how you bring out the creativity from your person. It is just not that you've been asked to do XYZ task, he follows, but what creativity, ideation that been given to him, empowerment given to him to come forward, use his own skills, and he follow. And individualized consideration, I think, is more related to feedback. Individual development plan, at least I would request every manager, let's say I am a zonal head right now, I should have individual development plan for my peers. At least the direct report is same. It's to go down to simplify the communication, simplify the strategy execution, and making sure that people are achieving the outcome which is expected out of them. And one more goal, in my view, leader should always have, rather than training a person to achieve his only professional task, how we make sure we make them a good individual. I think professional and personal life are not different. It is connected and together. How you make their life simple, definitely in professional it will come up. So their individualized consideration is one of the aspects that a transformational leader has to take into consideration. Now, a lot of you listening, they must be finding survey do day in, day out. But the way I started with the initial 1 minute preamble, it's once again a rebrush. And the way we go every time, tell about your brand, though it's a 20 years, 30 years brand, every time you go and detail with some newness. And it is as important that probably for every leader, those who are listening and sharing their views on the Facebook Live or video, YouTube Live. Now, what are the facets? We talked about 4 I's. Intellectual simulation we can start with. Again, as I said, how you bring forward innovation. Many times, it's all about questioning when you talk about intellectual simulation. Let's say a person came back to me, sir, I converted this XYZ doctor. You clapped him, excellent. You clapped him, you given him motivation. But the moment you ask him how you bring out this conversation, what is that innovative idea you use, which are on those 10 customers, you can use it. Same way to a leader, how you could able to make sure this TM or area manager is performing. What are those your own skill you use? What is your signature style of leadership you use to make sure this person is performing? And how is going to implement in others. So this will make him a lot of his creativity. It is all about questioning, empowering people, giving them a lot of goals and new challenges. It's just not about he's doing his daily task every day. Sometimes leader comes and says it is becoming monotonous for me. What else is to be done? So in that case, what are new goal, new task? When you talk about medical rep, it's more task about his own MSL. Area manager, beyond his 4 or 5 people's reporting, what is that extra he's adding on his peers? Same way for regional managers. Beyond their role, what are those new roles they're adopting based on their own skill set or SWOT analysis? Individualized consideration, I think after listening to a person, his challenges, his difficulties, success stories, how we do mentorship, how we do coaching, how we empathize on their current challenges, making more purpose, giving purpose to their task, their work, and really helping them to improve their strength and skills. This is what, whenever we look after individualized development plan, I think these things would play a vital role. 4 pointers. Inspirational motivation, one of the major skill that every leader should have, must have. Either you perform or you not. This is going to help you to reach to expected leadership goals. You should be able to give clear vision as per your profile and hierarchy. Optimistic. You talk about market. You talk about the bigger visions to your team. Be inclusive and be productivity centered. It just cannot be emotion. It is, of course, connected with what productivity you want to bring out from that person. And individualized influencer, as I said, be a role model. You walk the talk. You be a part of strategies. Be enthusiastic. And most importantly, when things are not right, the leader has to be 3x enthusiastic. This is my always a feeling. And when I say things are not right, it's more of strategy, not on the outcome perspective. And value everyone. Embody values, valuing. So these are the 4 I's, bit customized or openly discussed on the 4 pointers. A small cycle, which will just a conclusion and that will depict. You translate your strategies into the action. You just not knowing the analysis and just making the strategies, how you make it into the action? How do we communicate our peers so that they adopt it and they start bring it into the action? You build a strategic relationship with your employee, as well as your customer, with your market, with your peers, to make sure your strategies are actually getting implemented. Your emotional intelligence, you're leveraging this most important part. So this is EQ, or whatever you call it, emotional quotient you call it. I've just gone through 4 days of course out of it. It's a very vast thing, but yes, it is all about knowing yourself and your team. That really bring you to the conclusion how you use this emotional intelligence. Leading through change, yes. Most important part, the industry has gone through a lot of change post-COVID, and you're leading in that particular scenario. Adaptability is one of the key skill set what the transformational leaders should be having it. Many times I've seen leader gone into the complaint mode when things change come, and adaptability takes the backseat. And many leaders, those who adapt, they move forward and they become successful leader into their career, which I've been seeing with my peers and the peoples across industry. And developing employment capabilities, I think one of the core for every leader. And of course, your support function can really help you throughout this particular. Now I'm coming to the most important slide. How do we practice? All theory is gone, 15 minutes. How do we practice? First and foremost, you should know yourself. To practice transformational leadership, you know yourself, where I am right now. What are the skill set? What is my own signature leadership style? Am I only following my boss, or am I following only good leaders? Am I adding my own skill set, leadership skill set, to what I've learned? So that is most important. And with that, you know your team in and out. Build a relationship. Again, I'm repeating the word relationship. Thoughtfully compassionate, one of the word which is coming up very loudly when I was doing a pre-work for this. Logo ke saath or with the people, we should have a relationship, not to just complete the task. It's the human touch which should make both of you to grow together. So that kind of relationship, and as I said, it should not be just to complete the task, it to grow together in the market, in the industry, and both of the career. Inspirational and motivation. Be inspirational and motivational leader, and lead by example. The third thing that we can really practice in day-to-day working, encourage creativity. I think one of the trait, one of the style, or one of the skill set that we just seen is one of the important part for every leader. We always see you find green in red, red in green, but when you see green in every red also, you should inspire and motivate people to multiply. So a lot of challenges become into opportunity and people live with that passion. And most important, you should provide support and guidance. That should be the top priority. Many times leader go into reviews. Yes, review is a part of the leadership, one of the major KRA, but that should be objective based to make sure person gets the lot of guidance and the support from your end. If 5 things are practiced, I think it is very easy to become a transformational leader. Sometimes we do it bits and parts. Systemic application sometimes becomes the challenge to follow to become a transformation leader. I must say good leader or ideal leader, you can call this particular topic. And as I said, one of my hobbies to read some mythological book. In my view, I think the last slide on your screen, the best or the world's best transformational leader in front of you. He has coached Arjuna, shown what he is. He has coached him why he should follow the task. He told him was why Mahabharata is important in the history for the humans, how it is going to help him. He coached him, he guided him, he helped him, he enlightened him. And after end, the whatever happened is known to everyone. And touchwood, this is not touching any religious aspect, but yes, whatever Arjuna did, it was toward the betterment of humanity, not to just complete the task. So Lord Krishna, I think one of the best coach, mentor through Bhagavad Gita, probably he has given that not only to him, to everybody. So same with the transformational leader, it's just not to you, you need to give it back to your peers, to industry, what you follow, all those things. I think last sentence I just want to make it, for to become a transformational leader, it's a belief that leaders is having that he can bring the change. I think that's the time he becomes a transformational leader. I think with this, I come to end of my talk. Mr. Yashwan, over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rupesh. Please stop sharing the slide. Oh, great, great, great. Thank you very much. What I can say, crisp and to the point. Okay, a very important and very good subject, and you have given a crisp and to the point learning for that. Thank you very much. Thoroughly enjoyed. Before going to the next session, a quick quick take home message for the benefit of the viewers. You started with a wonderful comparison between transitional leader and transformational leader. And what are the 2 3 points you told is transitional leaders focus on goals while transformational leaders focus on vision. Not only that, transactional leaders, they believe in reward and punishment, reward for good work and punishment for not so good work, while transformational leaders have a charismatic personality and they lead by charisma, enthusiasm, and motivation. Transactional leaders are reactive in nature, they react, while transformational leaders are proactive in nature, they perceive what is going to happen, and for that, they are ready with the backup plan. Not only that, conviction is missing in transitional leaders, what you shared, and transitional leader is very short term, while transformational leader is long term, and they also reward, but they don't reward result, they reward the process. Wonderful way you shared. And 4 elements you shared about the leaders transition transformational leadership, that is intellectual stimulation, innovation, creativity, goal and challenge. Then individualized consideration, how to develop individual, mentoring, empathy, purpose, strength and skill. Then idealized inflammation, role model, walk the talk. Whatever you can do, you tell. Whatever you can tell, do it. That walk the talk. And fourth is inspirational motivation by rewarding the process, clear vision, optimism. Wonderful way, Mr. Rupesh. Thank you very much. And last but not least, you have shared about the 5 elements of transformational leadership. Translate strategy into action, build strategic relationship, leverage emotional intelligence, leading through change, and also develop empathy, employee capability. So it is really wonderful. But before handing over, I came to know as today only that you have done emotional intelligence leadership course from University of Virginia. So we look forward for your session next time on emotional leadership. Okay, next time definitely you take your time, but we would like to have your session on emotional leadership, which is very much required in today's uncertainty due to the pandemic and pandemic coming again, and people are uncertain about their job, whether they will be able to meet the healthcare professional, whether they will be able to enter the hospitals. Again, that uncertainty is very near in future. So in that situation, emotional intelligent leader is very much required in today's thing. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
And I hand over to, okay, question answer definitely will take after the second session. I hand over to Arpan for the next session. Please stay tuned, Mr. Rupesh. We'll have question answer, please.
Thank you so much, Yashwant sir. Yes, the pandemic is again coming, but then the COVID pandemic has got two parts basically: a political pandemic and a medical pandemic. So let us be more concentrated towards the medical pandemic because that is what is going to ultimately give us protection or give us the correct information. Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Rupesh, for such a wonderful presentation on transformational leadership. And the most important thing, probably what I felt from this was empathy for your team. And to have empathy for your team, the most important thing is to be a very good listener, because it's always said that when we listen to a problem, 50% of the solution is already arrived. So listening is one of the greatest skills for a transformational leader. And the second I feel is adaptability in situations, because the more adaptable, the more flexible a leader is, the more focus he will be able to deliver to the team, and that is how he's going to bring about a transformation within the team, and that makes him a transformational leader. In fact, our next speaker, Mr. Sumanta Chaudhary, is going to probably do a continuation of transformational leadership, because when he's going to discuss about field work, it is a reflection of the transformational leadership that he is going to implement on the field, so that he can rub that inspiration on every team member. And as I said, a joint work always needs to be a pleasure, not a pressure. So to give a brief introduction of Mr. Sumanta Chaudhary, well, he is now the divisional sales manager in JB Pharma, and he's looking after West Bengal and Northeast. Well, he's a graduate from North Bengal University, and he started a career in banking. But post that, he is into 18 years in sales, and he started his journey, as we all did, as a medical rep in Cipla. Well, he has taken up various assignments during his journey as a business HR in the field in Cipla, and guiding various training programs in Cipla. And very importantly, he has been able to elevate 8 area managers and 4 regional managers successfully. And that speaks miles about his transformational leadership. So now let us focus on joint field working. And it is over to Mr. Sumanta Chaudhary to take us on a journey of making joint field working a great pleasure and getting the best out of joint field working. So it's over to you, Mr. Sumanta Chaudhary.
Thank you, Arpan. Thank you, Jashwant sir, for giving me this opportunity. Let me share my slides. So I hope it is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes. So a wonderful session briefed by Mr. Rupesh with a short slides. On within 5-6 slides, he has briefed how our leaders look like, how optimum outcome of a leader to be that with few skills we have to acquire for a transformational leader. And the last slide, which also inspired me, because Bhagavad Gita is one of the most inspirational book for any leadership skills development. So the most vital part of the application of these theories, all the learnings for a manager is field. It is the biggest platform for any first line or second line managers to apply their skill, learn from the field, and develop themselves as a transformational leader. So this is a small part and small experience which I am sharing right now. How we can improvise our daily working in field. What small things we can do to get the better productivity from our team. So I'm starting with the role of a business manager. As we all have know that few things a business manager should know, that he has to develop his team. Apart from the business, he has to do 3-4 things to develop their team, to understand their team, to motivate, and to bring the best out of their team members. It is a core role of a business manager. So how he can do this? First and foremost, responsibility for a business manager is for his manpower. Manpower means his team. So for the team, for the better team development, first starting from the spotting, recruitment, induction, training, reviews, control monitorings, and development. These are the core areas that a business manager should look into. But what else? This is the entire team development process. What else next? Next, the field work. Why joint field work is most important things in field that we all should know. Because to understand the TM or MT's in clinic effectiveness, the joint field work is the most vital part of our daily working. And the train and development team training is the on-field training is a core area of a manager, and they should work on it on daily basis. cross-check the input utilization, because the companies and the product management is working very hard on developing inputs as per customer needs. How people are using in field, that should be checked by someone. A manager should daily keep on eye how people are utilizing this, which input is utilizing most and accepted most by the customers, which campaign is utilizing most and accepted, which is hit in geographies. It is very many campaigns, many inputs are performing differently in various geographies across India. Suppose in eastern part of India, some campaigns are very successful. Maybe in northern part of India, it not be successful. Business manager should recommend to product management manager team or the higher management that the campaign is useful or not. Then the customer list, the must see list is should be the keep on touch the core doctors. And now every company's first line manager, they are following some strategies, like they adopt some customers. First line managers, they are adopt some customers. Second line manager, they are adopt few customers. So keep touching these core customers is also a job of a manager. And by joint field work, we are doing that. And this MSL productivity, which is a core part for a review. Because in a pool, suppose in a metro city, 8 or 10 people are working. How we should judge a MSL productivity? That should be in joint field work. Up post discussion, we should able to understand this, how the productivity of an individual MSL. And market watch, obviously the how competition is doing, how competition campaigns are doing, how competitor doctors, the doctors, those are writing competitor brands, how they are utilizing the competitor inputs or the patient awareness materials of competitor. Obviously the sales tracking. And the issues, that is a ground reality that should be addressed by your managers. Then if you get into it, the joint field work is the 3 types: a sales call, support call, and development call. The table in front of you, it shows how it contributes. A TM and BM will contribute in each set of call. If a sales call, a particular sales call, a TM contribution is only 10%, the managerial contribution is 90%. It is the core call of particularly business call or the engaged doctor or for an engagement to a doctor. That should be taken by managers. Support call, it should be for the people development. It is a part of on-job training. Here, manager should take up some points from MR's call or his discussion and discuss further, which MRs or TM cannot discuss in front of doctor, although in lack of knowledge or some input which managers only having. And last but not the least, developmental call, which is also necessary, because we have to develop our people a day in and day out. So every day it should be few calls for the developmental call. 90% for the TM, where manager should silently observe, and they observe how the people are utilizing the materials, how he is talking in front of doctor, how he's probing the doctor, how handling the situation, and then give a feedback how he can develop further. So this type of call mainly all the managers are doing every day. So these 3 types of call, there is some objective behind it. Knowingly or unknowingly, people are doing that only. In sales call, I have already shared, to convert doctor or increase productivity is the objective. So here the hands-on training is the core area where manager is working. The BM, the most call are empty and learning and observed, and BM is doing the call. Next, good for the training of the new MT. It is the when the induction is going on, managers are doing their call, they are doing hands-on call. Most of the companies, managers initially first 15 days or 30 days, managers are doing call to showcase how the brands are P1, P2, P3 brands are placing in front of doctor as per customer profile. They are leading by example. The managers are showing how to do a call. Then 2 out of 10 call, it should be every day to a manager to practice this. Next, the support call. Support call is the objective. Objective is to support TM during the call, to support them. What I have already discussed, take out some point and discuss on this. It is for the development, and 2 out of 10 call, it should be every day for a manager to develop their team. And last but not the least, developmental call is the support during the call, as well as it is basically MT learn during this practice to understand how the TM is doing inside the clinic and how the training can be designed for him or her. So different strokes, different flocks. So it is a famous quotes. So hands-on training demonstrated call for the good in the new joinees, where the MT's hands-off training is the development for the senior MEs or MRs. There are multiple types of MRs are doing in our teams. So some are less than 1 year, some are more than 5 years or 6 years. So here the various type of training can help us to design their individual development plan, which can help us to design the training and further help them to design their career better in this organization. So hands-on training for the new joining will help them to perform better in initial 6 months or 90 days or 180 days. And for the senior people, developmental calls is very important, because if you want to develop him in future in same organization, their capability should build up, and their strength and weaknesses only can be identified by this developmental call. And here are the few steps where the business managers should work before joint field work. The pre-work is the most important thing, because I believe the pre-work, if you spend more time in pre-work, it is more easier to interact with the people on the field. Pre-call planning, which is the most important observation for a manager, how MR is doing pre-call planning, and guide him for better observation during the call, which is for the people development for his in-clinic effectiveness, and post-call analysis. So here are some key areas where each and every aspect managers can work. It is the checklist. Checklist is, what is the checklist for pre-work before the joint field working? DCR analysis, which is the everyday manager should follow their people's DCR, how they are working in field. That's why remote monitoring concept has come in last 2 years, when the COVID period is going on. People are working and they are monitoring from the other place. So working through remotely. So that is also a key area for a manager. Now the business trend of the territory, that should lead the discussion further, how it can be developed. Doctor conversion status last few months, that help us to bring on the table few good things, how which doctor should be met, which doctor should not be met. And further, non-RXR doctor, sponsored doctor, utilization of the materials, doctors, action plan for the last joint working. So these are the areas a manager should first check before joint field work. Again, for the next, he should discuss with the MR that how he is planning the pre-call, input planning, how he is doing the RCPA before discussion, stockist visit, if there is prescription, some secondary must be happened. So how is secondary flow? How the prescription pattern? So clinical observations, that is also a checkpoint, because only RCPA can tell in which indication doctor is writing a particular molecule. For example, a Montelukast levocetirizine, if prescribed by a doctor, if doctor is writing for 10 days, he is mainly emphasizing on allergic rhinitis part. Yeah, if he is writing for 1 month and above, maybe he's writing for add-on therapy is asthma. So RCPA is a RCPA can give you direction in which therapy you can focus to a particular physician or a chest physician, maybe. So case study discussion, if in your team some people are doing good, which is relevant to discuss with a particular MR, which is not doing good in a particular aspect. So this case study should be discussed in field. Business opportunity, this is a core area of manager should look at the which are the business opportunities around the headquarter and give the direction to the MR. And the checklist for in-clinic observation, as we all practice day in and day out, the material utilization, corporate discussion, therapy discussion, positioning of brand. These all are with daily practice, but not in structural way. So if you observe and give a feedback to your MR, so it will help him to get better in next call. So we should practice it. Last but not the least, post-call analysis, which is the vital part for our training. Analysis the joint field work, learning from the joint field work, discussion the MSL, feedback of the training, and action plan. Which further, next slide, I also emphasize on action plan, which is the vital part. Before leaving the field, before leaving the joint field working, you should give a feedback to a manager. All the successful leaders are doing that, and that's why they have given the direction for the people to develop further. And it is recommended mostly by the all senior managers, those are successful in this field. They have observed, and it is proven 3 days stretch working in field, which is beneficial to understand better the territory, understand better the people, understand better the MCL. So few do's and don'ts. Everybody has know this. I think do's and don'ts for the joint field work. Be punctual always, and first start from the proper tour plan. Do not deviate your tour plan, which is like actually not suitable, which is in coming in don'ts part. Maybe be punctual, make clear in the joint field work objective, check the materials as per day plan, ensure the detailing before every call, and interact the team. His the issues and challenges faced during the call or during the day working, and give the spot recognition if something successfully happened. If if you are observed a successful conversion of a doctor, please celebrate it on spot, on field. Do a plan of annoying and competitor doctor to build the confidence of the team, because they want somebody should hold their hand and confront the doctor who is not writing, and challenge the doctor that yeah, my product is best. So managers can give this confidence by discussing their product, their brand, corporates to the doctors. It will give confidence to the people to handle the competitions. And some don'ts, everybody know few things should not do by a manager. Frequent alteration of tour plan, which is not recommended by for a manager. And avoid unnecessary talks over phone while joint pre-working, because it shows you have a concentration to your team member, not only you have prioritize other things while joint field work. And don't review the colleague in waiting area, because it image of the company. because I have seen lots of people, lots of young manager rather, newly elevated manager, they started review instantly post call or while discussing anything. It should not be like that. Any successful manager, they are taking reviews only on review time. Sorry. So don't take review on waiting areas. So review is a big chapter. How to review, what to do, what not to do. Might be Jashwant sir having a different sessions or review with a different leader that will help us to grow better. And so ask the TM to post call, how he's feel, how he's rate his call. That is also a also a developmental area of the TM. So he should understand why he goes wrong, where he should improvise himself, and few things which should not be for a manager. Don't ask a TM to take fake calls, post fake calls. It is not recommended or not acceptable for a manager. Sorry. Finally, after the field work, it should be the set of objective for the objective for the next key calls, and make sure the objective should be recorded by you and your MR or TM. I agree with the specific time and improvement can be checked, and the goals which you have said, that should be SMART. We all know the SMART because it is a golden mantra for a salesperson. So it should be SMART. And last, the golden tips from my side. It is I am always applying these three things, discussing while joint field work during where we are now. Ask your team member where you are now, where we are standing now, where do you want to go. A particular brand, particular doctor, and particular overall sales, or any NI brand or something, and how we will go there. So these three questions will lead you something and help you to better create a better action plan for your particular team member, particular MCL, particular doctor. And these three questions is a golden mantra for any sales manager, any first line manager, to develop their team and reaching to the opportunity to train their team. So that's the end of my slides. I hope it is I am making this simple as well, because the salesperson, those are working day in and day out in the field. They only listen the simple words. They can understand only the simple words. So I have kept it simple. Rupesh, what he have shared, that is a transformational leader should know by heart how a transformational leader should look like, and how he has implement this in field. I try to bring this in table, how he should apply in joint field work. That's it from my side. Over to Arpan.
Thank you so much, Shumanto. That was really something I call a KISS presentation, that is keeping it short and simple. So wonderful journey for any manager as far as making an effective joint field working is concerned. Well, just to give a small summary regarding your talks. First of all, the role of a business manager. First is spotting the talent, recruitment, induction, training, and review. And then the most important thing, why should there be a joint field work? First is to understand the TM's in-clinic effectiveness. Next, to train and develop the TM for effective calls. To cross-check input utilization, very important. MSL, that is visibility, must-see list visibility, and of course, MSL productivity, market watch, and market trends. Now, what are the different types of joint field working? This was very important because people generally categorize it as only one thing, but he has made it into three parts. First is the sales call, second is the support call, and third is the development call. Well, the sales call is purely to generate sales. The second is the support call, which is basically when the TM is not able to garner that support from the doctor. It's the manager who has to give the leverage to the TM so that he can get the support from the manager to crack the doctor. And third is development call, which is more inclined towards training. That means towards the development of the TM to become a better version of himself or herself. Now, what are the JFW or the joint fieldwork steps? First is the pre-call. And I repeat once again, most of the times, a joint field working is done without a pre-work. And that is what leads to a failure of joint field working. So most importantly, a pre-work and a pre-call planning is very important. And after that, of course, the observation during the call and the post-call analysis. So that is what I summarize as a feed forward, a concurrent, and a feedback. A feed forward is doing something before I start the call. Concurrent is doing something during the course of the call. And feedback, of course, is a post-mortem that I am doing after the call. Most of the times we find managers doing a post-mortem only. That is a feedback. Well, the call is gone. We have to wait for the next visit to do anything. So better we do the concurrent and better we even do the feed forward. Next, we come to a very important note, that is a continuous stretch of joint field working should be done for at least 3 days to understand the situation of the territory. Many a times we find managers having a day or 2 days work with a TM, but it is always advisable so to get a proper understanding of the territory, to understand the plus and minuses of the TM. A continuous 3 days joint field working is very necessary. Now there are some do's and don'ts. Well, first let me come to the do's of the joint field working. Plan the JFW properly. Second is very important, be extremely punctual, because punctuality is respecting the other person. Have a clear objective. Going for a joint field working without an objective is basically walking on the road with the eyes closed. Give a spot recognition for a good call. Absolutely, because justice delayed is justice denied. If the TM has done a good call, just come out of the chamber and immediately pat the back, share a cup of tea or coffee and say that you have done a good job. This is going to give instant motivation. And this is what I call instant gratification for the TM concerned. And take care that the lunch is taken in time. Most of the time, lunch is something which is overlooked because of the enthusiasm of doing the call. So to keep the team member enthused, always try to have a particular time where we can have a good lunch. Well, the don'ts: avoid altering the plan of the TM, because that is going to alter his working also, because the manager is going to work for 3-4 days in a month, but then he has to work for the 25-26 days. So please try to avoid altering the plan of the TM. Avoid unnecessary phone calls during joint field working. Yes, managers do get a lot of calls, but at least during the joint field working, try to keep it at the bare minimum. Don't ask TMs for fake calls. Yes, this is really going to spoil the entire show, because the effort, the energy that goes in doing a joint call, a fake call totally spoils the broth. And of course, never ask the TM to do your personal work. Well, we are all employees of an organization. So it is really, really very bad to ask a TM to do any personal work. And of course, keep very realistic and most importantly, smart goals. That is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And the golden tips that finally Sumanta has given us, that ask the MR, where are you now? It may be the locality, it may be the call situation, where the doctor is now. Is he prescribing? Has he started? Has he not started? Where are we now? So where do you want to go? It might be the next doctor, or it might be the doctor's prescription habit, that next which product do you want to focus after the doctor has started prescribing the first product. And the third, how do we get there? That's the most important thing. So first of all, you know the road, then you walk on the road, and for the next part, how do you go to the next road? So that is a clear map where we need to have a clear insight of the roadmap as far as joint field working is concerned. I think that was really a very insightful presentation from Mr. Sumanta Chaudhary. And I think every person watching this session must have taken wonderful tips out of it, because I think this was really exhaustive as far as joint field working is concerned. And he has taken the pain of putting down all the nitty-gritty, those things that are required to ensure that not only the calls are efficient, but the calls are effective. So thank you so much, Sumanto, for such a wonderful presentation. I'm sure a lot of questions must be pouring in from YouTube as well as Facebook. So it's over to Yashwant Mishra, sir, to take the next part of the session of addressing few questions and, of course, acknowledging the comments of our viewers on Facebook and YouTube. So over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Arpan. Nicely summarized the entire key points. So before going to the question answer, lot of appreciation coming from YouTube and Facebook, and many people have appreciated both the subject, both the topics, transformational leadership and also joint field work. Let me name few. Nasiruddin Chisti, thank you very much. Arumuga Marasan, Rohit Vilankar, Sandeep Bidwi, thank you very much. Vinay Pandey, thank you very much, Vinay, for watching and appreciating our effort. Rajesh Dubey, thank you very much. Then Ikram Sheikh, thank you very much. Umair Inamdar, Srijit Srinivasan, Rishikesh Chaudhary, and Sagar Kuti. Thank you very much, everyone. Srijit Srinivasan have shared his view, recognizing process and effort rather than only recognizing the outcome is very important. We should recognize the process also and also outcome also. So we have with us Kaustubh Das Sharma live. So I request Kaustubh to unmute and come live, put on the video. Kaustubh is a first line manager in JV Pharma, and he would like to share his view on joint field work. Yes, Kaustubh, over to you. Thank you very much for joining Live Pharma Coalition.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It is our opportunity to have you live. Please share your views. What are the things you keep? What is your opinion about the topic?
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for giving me this kind time to spend with you guys. And thank you very much. So first of all, one sentence I must keep telling my guys, keep and when I'm doing my regular training job with the newer ABM, which are coming through, and whenever I'm doing the induction, field induction for the newer ABM. So always I told my guys, keep field work should be something not a routine work we used to do, because it must be have some fun part about that. Okay, so it is not the work we are going to the market and analyze our people's fault, and whenever we are trying to do something, we are scolding them back. So not that, but not that kind of thing. We used to do that thing that is more positive, in a positive way. If the person is doing mistake, then we should tell him ki this is the work you need to do in a such way, not this way, but in a very positive manner. Okay, and at the same time, yes, there must be some mistake, there will be some mistake, but we used to treat that all mistakes in a positive manner. So for these kind of things, with small things, we always encourage our people so that they give their best in the field and off the field. And whenever there are some challenging part came, we always try to have the back of that particular people. That's the way we encourage the people, encourage my team member. That's the way till now, around 7 years I'm working as an ABM, and none of a team member from my team has been departed so far. So this is the little bit of record I'm holding right now. So
thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kaustubh. That is very important point you have shared. Some of the people, they have shared their opinion. I will definitely go to Rupesh also to ask his opinion about that. Kiran Kumar has shared. There are many people from YouTube actually. Arumuga Marasan, Kiran Kumar, Prashant Menon sir, he is our regular mentor and guide for LPC. Nitin Khagalkar sir, Sanvendra Pawar, Karthikeyan Babu, thank you very much. These people have also shared their views. I will read out some of the views and the question. Kiran Kumar says, transformational leaders must have emotional intelligence, especially post-COVID on ground has lot of existence particularly. So Rupesh sir, what is your opinion? Kiran Kumar also is resonate with you. The transformational leader, emotional intelligence. As I told, na, Virginia University knowledge, you need to share with us. You cannot hold it back. Something on that. Please share, Rupesh sir.
Emotional intelligence, I think what Kiran has tried to put forward post-COVID, I think that has become the most important part. And it is beyond empathy. There can be now new word in the vocabulary you need to find out now. It cannot be just empathy and sympathy. You make sure you become a part of that person's problem or a success and helping him to achieve the defined individualized goal. I'll not go to the professional goals only. I think that collect is now required. It cannot be just, he's working with me, he's an employee, he's just following what is said. But no, you are, collaborating together to achieve your joint goals. I think there the emotional intelligence comes. I repeat, I said in between, professional and personal are not different. They were never different. The movement leader starts looking it in different perspective. Probably things get, see, person in his personal life behaves differently, professionally behave different. I think in my view, the thing doesn't go correct. So he has to behave as in what individual he is. He's understanding the person with him is working and connecting emotionally in the parts to connect the task, helping him to be a good person or a good individual, and both of them growing together. I think this mentality has to come forward now post COVID, and that's what maybe Kiran is one of my colleague only in Hyderabad, works one of the senior RBM almost 11 years now, and he's been showcasing or displaying this behavior every time. So two things are important. One thing I read in between YouTube also, that how you see that individual is actually following emotional intelligence. I think it's a behavior and a communication. These two things will definitely give an idea. Is this person knowing his peer, knowing his colleague? Is he really connected to help him achieve his individualized goals? And are they aligned on one common goal? So if you see these things, I think you'll be able to understand is how much the emotional quotient of that person to connect, collaborate, inspire, motivate, support to the individual to grow in his career. That's what my view on this topic is.
Thank you very much, Rupesh. Thank you very much. That is what Mr. Nitin Khagalkar sir has asked. What are the behavior of emotional intelligence person? And rightly you have told about their behavior and communication will tell about who is the emotional intelligence leader. Another similar question with Sudeep Bhaumik has asked, that is, which leadership is more important? Transformational leader or servant leader or situational leader? There are 3 points he has told. Transformational leader, as you told, he will always believe on transforming people, developing people. Servant leader who will also in a supportive way, always will be supporting the people as a servant, but he will lead them from bottom. And a situational leader who changes his leadership style according to situation. So although all are important in their situation, what is your opinion, Rupesh sir?
I think servant leader and the third one, what you said, are a part of transformational leadership only. I think situational, you see, based on situational transformational.
That is emotional intelligence. That is actually emotional intelligence.
One of the point we said, strategies into the action. It is based on situation. You bring the strategies and put it into the action only. So these are a part of transformational leadership only. And support and guidance is one of the trait or the skill set the transformational leader should have. So rather than transformational leader, we must it's ideal leader. What people shall look forward from them. So I believe it's a part of transformational leadership only. They cannot be looked into the isolation.
Yes. Focusing on emotions of self, controlling our own emotions, focusing on emotion of others and behaving according to that. And then there should be a very good coordination. Thank you very much. Wonderful way. Yashwant Padmanabhan has shared a fantastic presentation, Rupesh sir. Thank you very much. Shahid Ahmad, we are live, sir, and we have been watching. Thank you very much, Shahid. If you are live, you can come and you can share your views. Okay. Then one question for Sumanta, that is about the field work that Karthikeyan has shared. How about having a follow-up of previous joint work and objective setting for next joint work. So Karthikeyan has a view that before going to joint field work, we should have a follow-up what happened about the previous joint field work, and then according to that, we should set the objective for the next joint field work. Sumanta, what do you feel?
So it is a very valid question. Most of us are telling like that it should be do, but on practically it is very hard to follow that, because in a month, once we are jointly working with a particular MR or ME. So if we are noting down what is the observation in field, that should be helpful in next visit. What has been discussed, what are the key pointers, or one or two assignments can be given to the MR for the next visit. I want to see the change. That should be helpful for as a manager, but most of us could not practice it regularly due to some other priorities, due to hurry in the field call, consecutive one or two calls in a medical college. That calls are not post call analysis are not can be done. In the COVID situation, if you see the metro cities, the calls are, people are doing calls in parking lots, people are doing calls in outside of chambers. So how a managers, it's a very difficult for a manager to discuss all these things, because it is a traditional theory. Now the over post COVID era, the managers are really, they need to be transformed like that. They have to observe the people, and they have to discuss the bullet pointers. They have to discuss the action areas, improvement areas, and that's why they need to be transformed like that, and they need to be a transformation leader.
Right. One more thing, Arumugam, very rightly you said, but it is a tricky question. This question I will pose to both of you, Rupesh and Sumanta. If during the joint field work, if we notice something unfavorable happens, or any unacceptable mistake your person is doing, your MR is doing, should we uh, address the issue immediately, or we should address the issue at the end of the day? So what is your opinion? Understood the point, na? Sometimes he does something and you cannot do inside the clinic. After coming out the clinic, should you address that immediately after a call, or should we wait for the end of the day so that his motivation level should not go down? And at the end of the joint field work day, you should address that. What is your opinion, Sumant? Then we'll go to Rupesh also.
Yes, sir. So here it is a really tricky question. Based on the situation, manager should act. If the incident occurred in a OPD where other companies MRs are there, other companies managers, their manager should not act like that. He can be take up the call when the MRs are doing the mistake. Some pointers he has taken and discuss with the doctors. Pose the call when he is some place where nobody is there. He can start a discussion, and based on the situation, based on the people profile, if I know my person is a very good in field, somehow he's had done the mistake, and my discussion on his area of improvement or his fault can demotivate him for the rest of the day, I should not discuss. If I believe the people is, my person is good, if I rectify immediately him, next call onwards he will not do the same mistake. It will helpful for the rest of the day. It is based on completely the people profiling, I believe. As per my view, as per the situation, manager should act.
Rupesh sir, your view?
Yeah, I echo what Samantha said. I'll add upon maybe a pointer to it. It is always said, you appreciate in group, you review in alone. So it's again a task basis. I'll just give an example. Paracetamol is prescribed as an antipyretic, but during clinic, your person said, sir, it is used for asthma. I need to correct it immediately. Once I came out in alone, was no, you are incorrect. But there is a study on paracetamol. It is done on 1,000 patients, and he could able to speak out, let's say 20% out of it. So this feedback can be given at the end because it needs a coaching and a training. But the simple thing about the product was indication you cannot miss. So it's a task basis. So again, so this is unfavorable condition. We cannot promote paracetamol as an asthma. It's antipyretic completely. So this needs to be corrected, or else he will carry all 10 calls, same communication. But yes, study, next call I may detail, he may learn, and at the end I can give a feedback. So it's purely a task basis. An unfavorable condition can be anything. It can be anything, but bigger mistakes, which you feel which cannot be repeated in the next call, has to be corrected there. This is what my view is.
Definitely, very true. According to situation, we can see. Arpan, do you have any question or want to add some value? Yes, over to Arpan.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was really a very interactive session today, with the questions also pouring in from different quarters, and those questions are really, really relevant. Now, I would like to ask Mr. Rupesh one thing. It's always said that costing becomes very important as far as companies are concerned when it comes to joint working or whatever. So there are two types of leadership, as we discussed: the transactional leadership and the transformational leadership. Well, in the transactional leadership, it's more of the carrot and the stick theory, that if you do good, you will be rewarded. If you don't, then probably you will not be. But on the other hand, transformational leadership is a long run process, because it involves a change in process, the person, the situation, the people, and everything. So what, according to you, is the golden mantra for a company to go for an instant gratification, that is a transactional leadership, or a long-term theory, that is a transformational leadership? So your take on this?
I think good question, but it should be a combo. Now, post-COVID, I'm saying this, it should be a combo. You should be transactional in the process, because that's the execution, what you want to get it, point A. And the transformational leadership is what the outcome you get it, that is sustainable business. If you start rewarding results, then a lot of unfavorable conditions, the question came right now, that keep on picking up. And so many companies now are struggling to control that. During my interaction with a lot of my colleagues, they ask, how do you control it? Or it's been a part of interviews most of the times to my colleagues. They have faced, okay, you've been given a task, we are finding this XYZ happening in the market, maybe at distributor, maybe at chemist. How do you control it? Because you are awarding the results. You are awarding only the maybe primary sales in simple pharma words. But the moment companies start rewarding the lead parameters, the companies also are rewarding the processes, conversion, your A+A customer coverage, your activation, and definitely these are the levers to get the business, which will give you sustainable business. That will give you long-term business, and those companies are going to grow. So I think it should be a combo, and probably the pharmas or the industries, not only within our pharma, outside industries also. I've been talking few FMCG, I'm talking to my friends in Nestle, a few people are in Havel, fan big companies, few IT companies. I think the top 10 or top 5 companies and the emerging companies, I think they are having these fundamentals only. Even few of my colleagues, maybe those who left pharma marketing and they've started their own organization, you will see their fundamentals like that only. They want to see was 10, 12 calls. That 2 extra call I'll pay you additional, and then we'll see how much secondary you're bringing at the end. And capability building is something which is very important aspect to bring the sustainable business. This is how I take on this question.
Excellent. I completely resonate with one line that you said, that reward in public and reprimand in private, because this is something we have always felt very true, but quite often we find the reverse being practiced by certain managers. Now, coming to rewards, basically there are two types of rewards. One is an intrinsic reward, the other is an extrinsic reward. So which, according to you, has a long-term effect in the minds of the people?
Nowadays, if you ask me simply, it's some money which is making a lot of matter post-COVID. It's last 1.5 years I'm saying this is making a lot of matter. So direct rewards is what people are really looking forward. And most important reward, which I felt in my total tenure, is when your direct manager comes and says, boss, you this XYZ, right? Good. It's just patting on your back. I think that has got a lot of importance than anything else that you get rewarded. So these two things, in my view, is going to really be helpful. This is in today's market situation.
Great. That means rewards, that means giving cash or money. These are going to give instant results, but then recognition, like what you said, a pat in the back, then they are going to be something very sustainable as far as an organization is concerned. Well,
Probably
thank you
that
so much.
scores
Yeah.
better. That scores better than maybe the first one, in my view.
Yeah, this is something like the other question that somebody asked, that if MR is doing some mistake, should we immediately tell him after the call, or should we wait for the day's work to be over? So it is like that we talk to him after the call, so that it doesn't, like there is a saying that we cannot cry over a glass of spilt milk, but we can definitely make an effort to save the next glass. So already a mistake done is done. That's complete. That's over. So at least for the next call, he doesn't repeat the same mistake. So I don't think there should be a reduction in motivation as far as the TM is concerned. Rather, he should be more enthusiastic that, well, I have got pointed out for something wrong that I was doing. So let me set things right for the next call, so that at the end of the day, we have got more pluses than minuses. So that's my take on that subject. Well, now coming to Mr. Thank you, Rupesh sir. So coming to Mr. Shumanto, well, with this COVID, we have found a reduction. Reduction means a big reduction in customer facing time. So now during the joint field working, we have come across doctors just tell the name of the products, bus, only 2 products, just name. So now what is the role of a manager in joint field working, where a doctor is just not inclined to hear too much, accepting the brand names?
Here the role of a manager is very crucial, because I have seen in the field the people literally not getting any time to speak in front of doctor. They are only telling the brand. So some point of time the doctors are tell me the brand, don't show me anything. So I don't know how they are keeping so much brands in their mind, but we have to do that by various ways. So we have to train our team like that. That post-COVID era, digital has taken a big role. So connectivity with the customers via digital platforms is a one way to connect the prescribers, connect the non-prescribers in the platforms where they can train to write the molecules, upgrade in therapies. Various ways like WhatsApp is a way to touch the doctors in daily basis. Now the doctors are they are post COVID era. Most of the companies have started ironing birthday wishes, this marriage anniversary celebration. These are common now. This earlier, it is a unique activity. We are thinking that it is a unique activity done by 1 or 2 companies. But post COVID, I have seen most of the companies are doing like that. So it is a culture now. By out of the box, people are getting giving reminders to the doctor by various ways. So there are multiple ways to recall the brands to the doctor and reach out to them by digital way, and by OPD campaigns people are doing to taking particular dates and sitting there over the period of hours, and doctors are seeing the people are giving samples, or people are giving patient education materials to the patients. So that's helps to build a good relation with the doctor in this particular period, I believe. And number 2, the scientific events, medical marketing activities, which is create a good impact in customer front, which I believe, because current days, if you see the compliance, most of the companies are strictly following the compliance norms. The people are not doing the lots of things for the customers. Now strictly monitoring the medical marketing policies, so that will help to create a good impact in field. I believe the scientific events, virtual platform or physical platforms with a good speaker, good topic, burning topics, rather taking a feedback from the doctors, which are the topics are the good, that create a good impact in front of doctor and image of the company, that this company is doing something for a particular therapy, and we can write these brands, their brands.
Yes,
Thank you
that's
very
well
much,
said. And that takes me to the next question, that with the UCPMP guidelines being enforced, and they are in the rightful place. So do you think it's creating a level playing field for every company now. With the UCPMP now, there is nothing that you can do more than others. So that puts everybody on the level playing field. So now, do you think communication becomes very important as far as convincing the doctor is concerned? Because the other part is not there. Everybody is on the same playing field, the level playing field. Now, the way I can be better than my competitor is the way I connect with the doctor, communicate with the doctor, and convince the doctor. So, what do you feel that communication is now the golden mantra to take one company ahead of the others as far as the competition is concerned? Your take.
Definitely, Arpan, I agree with this. In clinic discussion is the weapon today to convert the doctor, because the compliance, many companies are doing lots of things. We have seen few companies are doing only medical marketing activities or scientific events. So now everybody in the same platform, they have to follow the compliance, they have to follow the UCMP guidelines. So now the capability building of the team is the major KRA of a manager. If we as a manager not build the capability of our team, we will be on the backbencher side. So we will be not able to convert the more number of doctors. Scientific discussion in clinic effectiveness, it has to be in the MR or first line manager to discuss effectively in front of doctor.
Yes, absolutely. And those are the KRAs, that is the key result areas. Well, that's my Q&A session. So I'll once again go back to Yashwant sir if he has anything up his sleeves as far as questions are concerned. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Arpan. Thank you. Very good, healthy discussion. We find a lot of learnings also. We are finding not only live, but maybe on chat box also. So we thoroughly enjoyed the session. Some of the people we know very well. Mr. Prashant Menon, he is one of the transformational leader we all know. Workplace dynamics. He has also shared his view. It is very important for people to have the leadership and emotional intelligence while in today's situation particularly. I have requested him to join live. And another leader, Mr. Viraj Pawar, who is ex-Cipla leader, now an entrepreneur. And he has asked a question to Rupesh uh, please throw some light on role of leader in educating team. So Rupesh sir, this is your view. Do you think a leader should take active role in educating team?
So I think it is one of the things we talked about, knowing yourself and your team. The moment you know the requirement of your team, maybe soft skill, your therapy knowledge, the moment you have that IDP, sorry, individualized identification, what we talked about, I think that role comes in as one of the trait comes very important here. And based on that, you use your all support function. You got L&Ds in every organizations now available. You got SAPs available. And basis on that, we find out the action plan, who needs what kind of training, what kind of education. And accordingly, we make the program in clinic during joint field work or whichever the forms are available. And accordingly, people can be educated. That's what my view is around it. It cannot be on the carpet. One topic fits for all. Maybe one slide what Mr. Sumanta showed. So based on every individual's requirement, the education can be passed out, the therapy knowledge, soft skill knowledge, or any other way we want to really groom our peoples to achieve the expected organizational goals. I think that carries a lot of it.
Thank you very much. Very rightly you mentioned. Thank you very much. Some of the more sharing of knowledge, Srijit Srinivasan, recognizing process and effort rather than only recognition is very, very important. Nasruddin Chasti has shared timely elevation of deserving senior TM is a great motivation for them. Many leaders miss to promote the deserving candidate, and that leads to attrition, right? That is very true also. So recognition and promotion is what it requires. Srikant shared, it is very interesting topic. I thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you very much, Srikant. So I hope we have covered most of the questions. And thank you very much once again. We are at the closing time. We already exceeded the timing. I again thank both the speakers, Mr. Rupesh Joshi and Sumanta, for accepting our invite and sharing their valuable insight on LPC. Kaustubh, thank you very much for joining live and sharing your views. Kaustubh, do you want to share something more? Kaustubh Das Sharma? Okay, he has also enjoyed. Yes, Kaustubh.
Yes, yes.
Yes, anything you want to share? How did you find our platform?
Yeah, magical. Thank you very much
Okay,
for
keep on.
giving me
Yes,
this opportunity. Yeah.
thank
Thank you very much.
thank you very much. So before we close, a brief closing remarks from both the speakers, Mr. Rupesh. Your closing remarks, take away closing remarks, Mr. Rupesh Joshi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Arpan and Mr. Yashwant. Only thing, one single last line. If leaders feels that he can bring a change, he can become a transformational leader. That's what the only closing remark from my end. 4 eyes, what we talked about, I think that remains the key. Please reward the process, result will come. You'll have a sustainable performance that will go along with you. And I think being emotional leader is being a part of your team and executing from the front. These are the 4 or 5 things I've been following during my complete tenure, and I'll definitely request all my colleagues and viewers, those who are watching it, that will definitely help all of us to bring this pharma market ahead rather than our own careers. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rupesh. And over to Sumant for closing remarks.
For me, throughout the journey in this pharmaceutical industry, what I believe the managers impacted most of the team members, because he is the world of the MR. He is the company to a MR. So his energy, his positivity create impacts. He can follow the processes. He can follow the any theory. He can follow any do's and don'ts. But his body language, his processes, his positivity impacted MR's career to build in future. So be fit, be positive. Whenever you in field, be energetic, because your positive charge will charge your team. Thank you very much, LPC, to give me the opportunity to share my experience. Thank you, Jashwant sir and Arpan, for coordinating with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sumanta. And now over to Arpan for the closing remarks. Yes, Arpan.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Yashwant sir. Yes, as Sumanta rightly said, the manager needs to be the single point of contact as far as the TM is concerned, and he needs to be the role model, because he's the person whom the TM watches and grows and tries to emulate. So everything starts from there. So he is not only an area manager, he is a training manager, also a product manager as well. So that is the relevance of a first line leader. So thank you so much for such wonderful deliberations, both on transformational leadership as well as joint field working. And it was really a pleasure being able to add some values to whatever you have said, add something new to whatever you have said. So thank you, Yashwant sir. Also, you have always been the biggest value addition as far as training sessions are concerned on LPC. And in fact, I always keep on learning whenever I find LPC sessions. So thank you so much, Imagica Health, for being our session support partner. We have thoroughly enjoyed your support this year, and we are looking forward to your support from next year, that is 1st January as well. So keep supporting us in our learning journey. Well, friends, COVID has once again started. So, well, we once again need to exercise the COVID appropriate behaviors of SMS, sanitization, mask and social distancing, along with the compulsory vaccination and, of course, the booster dose of COVID. And given the country that we have with a huge population, I think these are some things which is definitely going to keep us safe. And pharma companies need to gear up so that we can keep the people aware of the do's and don'ts in the COVID situation. This is a year which has given us many recognitions, and one of them is the Pharma Ratna Award, which we received this year for the best web pharmaceutical webinar for the year. So this really has been very rewarding for us, and we look to carry this forward, this legacy forward into the next year, so that once again we can add some more feathers on our cap. So 2022 has given us a lot of lessons, and we are really happy that we have been keeping on learning and sharing on this LPC platform. So today is the last session for this year, and since we talked about leadership, so I would like to end with one of my popular stories on leadership. This is with Akbar and Birbal. So once Akbar asked Birbal to look for the 4 biggest idiots in his kingdom. And this was a very urgent matter. And Akbar told Birbal that within the next 7 days, you have to present before me the 4 biggest idiots of my kingdom. So after 7 days, Birbal came to Akbar's court with only 2 people. Now Akbar asked Birbal, I had asked for 4. You came with 2. Where are the other 2? Birbal said, give me a moment, Your Honor. I'll present all the 4. So pointing to the first person, he said that this person was traveling on a bullock cart, and he was keeping his luggage on his head so that he is not going to put any pressure on the bullocks. So he is the first idiot. In the pharmaceutical industry, we have leaders who do not delegate responsibility to the team and carry all the responsibility on their own head. So this is the first kind of leader. Pointing to the second person, he said that he's my second idiot, because some grass was growing on his roof and he was pulling his cow on the terrace to eat that grass. So he's the second idiot. In corporates, there are leaders who set unrealistic targets and then force the team to achieve them, both going the doom's way. Well, now Birbal commented, I had lots of important work to do, but I had to ignore all of them and look for the idiots in your kingdom. So according to me, sir, I am the third idiot. So in corporates also, there are leaders whom we call yes men. They only rush obediently to obey the orders of their superiors without giving a thought whether they should or they shouldn't. So yes men are not always the good men, right? Now, Akbar paused for a moment. He said, well, you have presented 3. Where's the 4? So Birbal said, beg your pardon, Huzur. You are the king and you are responsible for the welfare of your state. And you engage me to look for 4 idiots. So according to me, you are the 4th idiot. Well, in corporate parlance, mediocre leaders who make poor strategies and want idiots to follow them blindly are the 4th type of leaders, 4th type of leader we have in the industry. So friends, let us be transformational. Let us bring about a transformation. In 2023, let us bring the transformation in our leadership style so that we are empathetic and we are charismatic as far as our leadership is concerned. Let us motivate them, because your vibe will attract your tribe. And that is what I always believe should be the journey of a charismatic leader. So thank you so much for being with us on this wonderful year 2022 on Life Pharma Coalition, and the last session, that is LPC 140 as well. Thank you so much, audience. You have been the inspiration. You have been the wind below our wings so that we can fly high, and we really salute your support to our learning journey. So this is Arpan Kumar Paul signing off from today, that is LPC 140, with a promise of reconnecting with you next Sunday, the 1st of January 2023, with a new set of leaders, with a new set of thoughts, a new set of learnings, and a new set of experiences. So till then, it's goodbye, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year, and a Happy Sunday from all of us at LPC. So keep sharing, keep learning. Namaste.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, Trisa, we can go off.
Okay, sir.